Okay, short video on paradiddles. Actually, one paradiddle. It is a single paradiddle. The traditional sticking for this is just right, left, left, left. Now, what we're going to do with this one is we're just going to do a couple of variations, invert it a little bit. Traditional place for an accent, meaning note that stands out a little louder than the others, is on the first single stroke of each paradiddle, which is going to be right, left, left, left. Okay? And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be shifting it a little bit. In other words, we're starting with the single strokes on that first one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with the double strokes on the next one. So it's going to be like this. Left, right, left. Yep, let me try that. Take two. All right. Yeah, I do this once in a while. Anyway, so we're going to start right, left, right. Now, if we put the accent where it belongs, it's still going to be in the same place. It's just that we're starting on the double strokes instead of the single strokes. The third one we're going to do is going to be this. Okay? So we got like this. Right, left, left. Okay? So the sticking, I'm going to put up there, I'm going to put a graphic up there so you got that part down. Alright, and I'm going to show you in another video how these can work around the drums. Paradiddles are great, not just to use around the drums for fills, but I use them all the time for rhythms. My first love, music-wise, as far as the genres go with music, is probably still jazz fusion. And paradiddles, single paradiddles, double paradiddles, we played either in straight 4/4 time or 6/8 time, are really a useful tool to work into rhythms. And I'm going to demonstrate that in one of the next videos over the next few days. But I'm going to try to get this one up today so you guys can kind of like just work on it. Now, whenever you're doing double strokes, try to make that first stroke a full stroke, point down, bring the stick up a couple of inches, and then tap a half stroke for that second stroke. Okay, so with the paradiddle, you've got two single strokes, two double strokes. Okay, in other words, two individual strokes. In other words, on the same hand. So you got like right, left. So we're going to be doing single, full, and then a half stroke to get that double down. Same thing on the left hand. Okay? Whether you're doing this traditional grip or matched grip does not matter. We talked about that in another video. Just try to use everything that you have available to you, fingers, wrist, and arms when you're going around the drums. Okay? Obviously on the snare drum you don't need to use a lot of arms unless you're talking a lot of volume. Mostly wrist and fingers. But matched grip be the same thing. Be just okay? So we have two single strokes, double stroke on the right, which is two separate strokes, double stroke on the left after you get to that left-handed paradiddle, which is left, right, left. By doing this, your paradiddles are going to sound a lot more even as you get to the point where you're building up your tempo. And you're going to develop a lot more control in your technique rather than just bouncing strokes around. You know, if you kind of like compared to this, the thumb up kind of thing, where you're going. That sounds okay to a point, but playing with stick control, fingers on the stick, starting the stroke from the wrist, not the fingers, okay? Keeping track of making sure that double strokes are a full stroke and a half stroke, in other words, just a couple of inches above the drum or the pad, starting from the wrist, okay? Letting these fingers control the response after the stick hits is going to give you a lot more control over what you can do. Okay, so I'm going to do this matched grip, just a straight single paradiddle. Same thing with traditional grip. Now, I didn't talk about traditional grip in the last video that I did, as far as I talked a little bit about how you're holding the sticks. And traditional grip, if you're right-handed, your left hand is basically working this way. In other words, you basically are doing a little bit, well, not a little bit, totally different. All right, this is a turning motion in the arm from the elbow up, as well as controlling the stick in here. If you have started playing traditional grip and you want to continue and you want to develop it, try this. Instead of holding the stick all the way back here, okay, in the crease between your thumb and your forefinger, move it up just a little bit, just behind this large knuckle joint here. Then bring your thumb down this way. This gives you a little bit firmer of a grip to where you have a little bit more control over the stick. Just using this motion without any fingers on the stick to control it, meaning your index finger, your middle finger, whatever, you can actually get a little bit, much more control, actually not a little bit, from the stick, much more motion, much more development of dynamics. Dynamics meaning from soft to loud. All right. Once you get comfortable using these fingers on the stick, you actually develop even more control over it. And by squeezing this way, this fulcrum is what the technical term is over the years, and basically all it is a grip in here between your thumb and this part of your hand. And remember not to overdo it. You basically just need to hold the sticks, tight enough to where you can, hold on to them and don't drop them. Everything should be relaxed, no matter what grip you're using. As you progress and you do things that, require a little bit more tension, as far as holding the sticks, a little bit more strength in these muscles and the fingers, and no matter which grip you're using, you squeeze a little bit more, such as like press rolls. But for the most part, keep it relaxed, because the more relaxed you are, the easier this is going to be, the more you're going to be able to get the sticks to do for you. All right? So the traditional grip part is using this motion, turning motion in the arm. Basically starts back here at the elbow, all the way down. So you're doing this, holding the stick in here just as much as you have to so you don't lose it. The stick is pretty much cradled between these fingers in here. In other words, ring finger, middle finger. Index finger you're using for the stick control, whereas typically with matched grip you'd be using these two fingers for stick control. So you're doing this. For people who don't play traditional grip, it looks very complicated, and I guess it actually can be. But it's the same as for people who start playing traditional grip and try to work their left hand playing matched grip. It's a whole new thing that you kind of have to take some time and develop. So try this part as far as just holding it back here. Keep relaxed with your grip between these two fingers and just practice turning this way. And remember, keep it relaxed. The fulcrum here in this grip is in here, but it's not tight. There's no tension involved. It's just relaxing. The stick control happens with your index finger and this grip in here between your thumb, and this junction here between your index finger and your thumb. All right? Okay, so that's enough of that. Back to the paradiddles. And we'll just pick it up a little bit just so you can see what it sounds like. And then back to the top. So as you're shifting those double strokes around, you're actually keeping the accents in the same place. It just doesn't sound that way. because when you put the downbeat on the bass drum or tap your foot, you're kind of shifting that pulse as you go. Okay? So work on that for the time being. I'll get the graphic up there too with the sticking, because I know I made a couple of mistakes just now as far as trying to play it and say it at the same time. Okay? It happens. Anyway, so I'll get those up and work on it just on the snare drum or the drum pad first, and what we'll do is we'll work with some rhythms, we'll work with some fills with just a single paradiddle first. There are so many of these that we can work with: double paradiddle and 6/8 time paradiddle diddle, which is a right, left, 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 which are very useful around the drum set. So we'll get to those as we go. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.